guys, this is Jay here from Journey of a Whitefeather, Opinions and Views, the Robin Hood Effect, episode 26. Wow. Didn't think I'd get through this many. I didn't think I'd be able to talk for this long, but there's so much happening in the world today, and there's so much happening personally within my life and within other people's lives. You can just see there's a conscious change going on in the world, and I'd like to have a speak about that. And hopefully some of the things can resonate with you. When I speak about my opinions, I hope that it comes across with regards to learning, regards to having a gift or a message. You might not agree with everything, absolutely. You might think I'm an absolute fruitcake, seriously. You know, from Australia, kangaroos, koalas, Steve Irwin impersonations. I forgot about that. That's my usual catchline at the start. But hopefully what I'd like you to do is, take my story upon board, but also look at the things that I'm doing to grow. And hopefully it resonates with you. And if you like it, you can obviously give us a call and we can sort something out to see if I can get you on the same track. But also maybe go, okay, this could be interesting. I want to have a bit of a look, or, whatever you may be doing. But that's absolutely fine. But first thing I want to talk about is symbolism. And for a long time, I've talked about how messages and symbols within your life, or things that are in your life, actually mean something, and you don't know what it means until the actual critical time that it comes out and you go, wow, hang on, that's what that means. And I've had so many of those experiences this year. I might have watched Cocktail 5,500 times since 1996. But there's even certain things there that come out and say, hang on, oh, that's interesting, that thing actually happened, or that time actually happened. And understanding about like selling yourself out or people pleasing, like Tom Cruise did with that lady he so-called picked up because his mate said to pick her up. He went against his values and went against his true nature. Everyone does that. It's not just men, and it's men and women, and everyone goes against something because they're looking to gain something or trying to prove their ego's out of control. So when you're thinking away and thinking wide, these kind of things happen. But what I want to get back to is synchronicities and messages. And obviously, I'm very big into the Native American culture. I'm big into understanding that you're given something to learn, and something's going to happen. Or, they always talk about walking on the ladders and all those kind of things with bad luck and all that. That's still a message and still a conscious programming, and you're connected to the universe. In my book, they're telling you something's going to happen. That's not going to be, whatever happens has to happen. You have to accept it. They're just giving you a warning. So you can go to that and go, oh, God, black cat and all those kind of things. But also you look at the good things. And the funny thing is, when you look at a lot of bird poo, they always say when bird poos on you, it is good luck. But also today was a really interesting concept today, because a big moth came flying straight at me. And symbolism of the moth is about transformation and death within the home. That's one of the meanings that I know of. And this moth landed on me, and I'm going, wow, it's never actually happened. When I've seen moths, and obviously they have a symbol within your life, whatever it may be, or symbol in your house. I had a heap of those come in, and it's always resembling death or rebirth and all those kind of things. But today went in and landed on me, so I had to look it up. And they're talking about transformation and change. And it's so much that what's happening in the world today is we're looking at conscious change, and everyone changing for the betterment, or they're learning about themselves. People are breaking up. People are having babies. People are moving jobs. People are moving houses. People are reconnecting. It's just this big turmoil of chaos that is happening. And I think people are just getting lost within them because the ego is being stimulated so much. You're still trying to keep up with the Joneses. There's so much stuff happening economically that you're trying to keep your head above water, but you have to go back and bring it back to spirit, bring it back to your heart. And these kind of things, these concepts have been with me for so long. And when that moth landed on me, landed on right on my heart, actually, quite close to my heart, would you believe? I'm going, I just stood there and I was going, wow. It was just a surreal experience. And I've had other things that have come up, but this one was really significant. So I straight away ran around and said, right, I'm going to go and see what this is all about. And it was transformation, and it came down to the home. Now, what I'm understanding of it is that maybe I'm changing homes, maybe I'm finding a new home, maybe my new self needs a new home, maybe it's time. I still believe in that people might think, oh, yeah, it's all woo-woo garbage. But once you're aware of what you're doing and where you're at with this work, Ira Morphe's one, Divine Healing, my friend Sarah, she's right into this. Diana Grippo, my co-host, and Cortez Medford over, my brother from England, Sarah, the Big Soul Healing, Jackie Lyons, my best friend over in Canada, Solomon King. We all came together for a reason, and it's to enhance this understanding of the connection to the earth and all these so-called woo-woo stuff, if you want to call it that way. But what it is, if you actually look at it and just resonate with it for a minute, it's not a case of, okay, we're going to give away all our principles and go for this. But what it is understand that there are messages and there is relevance to what we talk about. And I think you have to understand and keep away from looking for something to believe in, as I talked about spiritual toxicity last episode, and try to say, oh, this is like a quick fix. Oh, this is what I'm going to do. This will help me, or this will get rid of it, what I'm feeling, instead of using it for enhancement. And the same thing is happening here with regards to my understanding with synchronicities and animal medicine and all those kind of things, because I believe that people and animals are part of the earth and we are connected to the earth. I think we've lost that connection, as we've talked about in previous episodes. But getting back to the significance of the moth and significance of animals that have connection to spirit and connection to the earth, things happen for a reason. And I mean, it's not every day that a moth lands on you. It's not every day that maybe a cat comes and does something, like sits with you or acts a particular way. And you have to sort of question what's going on. If you're aware of that, go, oh, yeah, that's a bit out of character, or that's nice, or whatever. But yeah, the message is today, ladies and gentlemen, just to be aware that synchronicities and messages are coming in many, many forms. And you don't have to live by it and look for something to believe in or look for a way out. It's just having an awareness that this could happen, and this is a form of change, maybe spiritually, maybe mentally, that you're going into a different phase. And I know I had it in me when I was watching Charm back in 2000, and that all the spiritual stuff and the we'll call it witchcraft for the main point today, but the stuff that's sort of underground and go, oh, this is cool, this is about witches, it's about this, but there's a lot of substance to being connected to spirit. And my friend Red Horse is a big believer and a healer, and he's a big advocate for the healing that we have from the universe to the earth to us, and we're part of that. And once we find our path, as I have now, it's very interesting that I am speaking about this, because I'm usually an introvert that doesn't want to speak. I'm usually in a character, usually got my masks on and all those kind of things, not being my authentic self. And the last 6 months has been really hard, but I can tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, that understanding a safe, authentic space that I've created for myself and I can create for others, it does give you clarity. So if your mind is cluttered with negativity or old programming, and you have thoughts that are totally negative and away from where you're supposed to be, how are you supposed to take in the good? Because there's a door there that's blocking you. So you've actually got to smash that door down and walk it. And I'll tell you what, it's the hardest thing you'll do, because it's old programming and you don't want to do it. It feels weird because you're going through that transition time. And I'll tell you right now, it's taken me about 6 to 9 months. And I must say, it's getting a lot better. And I think I start to understand a lot of my behaviors as well. Even though the good stuff, we were talking about the synchronicities and messages and the moths and, even the injuries and all those kinds, everything has a message, but it also understanding yourself as a person. And then what you can do is do some research with some experts. And I've found that Carl Jung has really come forth in my life as well. If you want to have a look up Carl Jung, some of his teachings, especially about the shadow and embracing the shadow. And I'll probably move on to that really quickly. That will connect to what we were saying about symbolism and being aware, is the mirror. So the mirror is pretty much looking into your soul, looking into your spirit, looking into you. And what happens is, I've just realized that the fears that I had, and I look in and I go, what's the answer to my fears? The answer was in the mirror. when you look into it, you look at the mirror, it's a reverse. So you understand that the person you are now, you've got these boundaries, you haven't got any boundaries, or you have got issues. And then you wonder to yourself, okay, how can I change it? And you look into the mirror for an answer, and the answer is right there, where it's a reverse. So if you've got fear, you want abundance. So you have to basically, instead of enhancing that fear, you have to enhance abundance and walk and strength. So a lot of it will be looking and embracing your shadow and embracing your fears and embracing the stuff that was taught in the first 7 years subconsciously, whether it be your shadow or however you want to describe it, and utilize it as a superpower to walk into your new life. And that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm transitioning through that. And the way I'm doing that is acknowledging, having awareness of the fear, I guess, all the thoughts that I had and all the programming that I've had. So I look in the mirror for that answer. So I looked in the mirror and I've gone, yep, here it is. And the mirror just looked at me and gone, yep, start to use your shadow. And now you've got to walk. And this is like what I'm doing today. So we look at the mirror, we look at synchronicities, we look at universal law. So overall, with all that there, ladies and gentlemen, with that first part, we talk about that, the messages and the universal law and your connection to the earth, but also connection to yourself. So that's why the mirror came in. So then you'll have an understanding when you're actually looking at fears that it's you that has to change, but also remember that you are guided by spirit, and we're guided by, if you believe in guides, if you believe in yourself, however you want to believe, that you trust that someone is watching you, or you trust yourself, and you'll see that people or things will happen to give you that idea, say, yes, you are being looked after. And that's where these messages come in. And that's where I was talking about the moth that I've had to say, listen, change is coming. You're doing the right thing. Keep going. Transformation of your foundation is coming. Just hold out. So, yeah. So it's a bit of a belief. Have a look that up. You can look that up and look up animal medicine, animal and plant medicine if you need to. Very good to open up and see where you're at with that. Very interesting topic. Something that people go, oh, this is just absolutely garbage, which is fine. But once you have a look into it, you go, interesting. Let's see if I can take something out of them, at least educate myself. Okay, this is going to be the next controversial topic, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to say to you this. There's got to be a reason why men cheat. Now, cheating's not right. Or let's say stray. So let's put it to you this way, ladies and gentlemen, for our next point. So if you're in a relationship, whether you're a man or a woman, right, and you're not getting any compliments, or you just feel like you're getting used, or you're getting abused, you're a punching bag, or you just sit there like a stale bottle on the couch and you get no praise or nothing, what are you going to do? So we go on to the cheating side, whether it's whatever it may be. Why do people actually go, and they say men all the time, why do they go and look for something else? Because they're not getting appreciated. And I don't blame them. Now, I'm saying men because this is the conversation that people are having. Men are cheaters, men are this, men are that, men are this. That's fine. Go for it. But I always say there's 50% responsibility for both parties here. Why is he going out and looking for that? Yep, maybe he's a serial philanderer. That's great. Everyone's going, oh, he's a serial philanderer. He goes and he's a womanizer. Yeah, okay, that's fine. There's one argument. Now, start looking wide, ladies and gentlemen. What if I say the partner, whoever it may be, let's say wife in this case, is using him as a punching bag? Now, what I mean by punching bag is nagging, not giving him praise, not just loving the person for who they are. How much can you take of that? Right? What's wrong with someone come up and go, oh, you are great, you are this, you are that? There's nothing wrong with that. Well, this modern day these days is praise for people, or especially women giving men praise. It's like it's subservient. No, it's bloody well not, because then you get the women who say men should do that. So why don't we change the narrative and think about it this way? If a man or woman were to cheat, right, something's going on in the relationship. They're not getting their happiness. They're looking for happiness somewhere else. It's a case of happy within your heart. Keep that up. Keep the energy up. Why? would you think, and this is the way it's been really, really weird with people coming out and go, you know, everyone says, oh, men are weak, all this kind of garbage and all this stuff, right? And look, as I said, individuals, have a look at what women are doing in some ways. Are they using the men for a cash cow? Why they come home and nag them all the time is just basically sitting there with a boring life and they're just existing, running through their life. Now, I'm sure there's men who do the same thing, absolutely, because everyone's going, oh, yeah, you're a misogynist. No, I'm a humanitarianist. I didn't say that quite well. That's the way it is. Humans, we look at male or female. If you don't have that essence of respect and praising them, do you think they're going to stray? Really? Yes, people don't connect. Yes, they grow apart, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, absolutely. But we're talking about current. If people just currently keep it going, doing the same thing, you have a look at some relationships, you're just saying, what's the point? Are they just going through the trend? All right, married with kids, get up, do this, boring. But then it gets to a point, is it always just that, say, for example, women, okay, are just not invested in the happiness of their man, the true happiness. And everyone's going to say it's subservient. So that's crap. Because I'll tell you what, here's a fact for you. If you get that and you have that connection, you give that praise or the happiness or just let them be who they want to be, they will give you the world. I can tell you that right now. Being through so much crap in my life, I will step away, withdraw, whatever. But I've seen a lot of people do the same thing. But they're only there because of whatever they do in their morals. But sometimes they just go, no, this is not working for me. And you don't blame them for going and trying to find some happiness. What's the point of living in some ways? It's a deadbeat relationship. As I said to you, it's a case of maybe people go apart or something's not right. That's absolutely fine. Okay? But we're talking about long-term, and you lose that train of thought of, why can't I praise my partner, whether it be male or female? God, you're doing a great job there, right? Men need purpose, need to be respected. It's like it was manhood, or however you want to put it. I don't really care how you think in that way, because everyone's going to think it's coming across as men losing their respect for themselves and losing themselves within a relationship, because it's just like standard, whether it be the sexual thing. Oh yeah, we'll just do it because we have to. There's no togetherness. Maybe that's the way life has gone, especially with the independent women coming up and all that. That is fine. I always say, before you get together in a relationship or in the first few months or whatever, work out what you want before you start moving on. Can't do it, forget it. I know it's going to be hard to separate, and that's what happens, but you have to work it out. You have to say, right, unless you happen to get pregnant or whatever it may be, then you've got to go responsibility, you know what I mean? But if you're looking to work out exactly where you're going to map in life, you see how you go, because you don't want to lose your purpose, ladies and gentlemen. And men especially don't want to lose their purpose in life. They are happy. They will be the providers. They will hold everything on their back. And as people go, oh, we can do all that. No, it's not about we. Just look, take out the ego and go, right, this is what men do. This is what women do. They both do a fantastic job of balancing out the world. They can do whatever they feel because they have their own journey. But remember, they have male and female qualities as well. And then there's certain aspects in the world as well, or in the universal space, that men do and women. Women are more feminine, nurturing. Men, protectors. It's just the way it is. Okay? Not to say anyone can do what they want. As I said, there's your journey at the start. If you want to go that way, go that way. If you're happy on your journey, that's great. Do it. But remember, be also true to yourself and your gender, male or female, because you're going to have those aspects come out stronger if you are one of the sexes. So I ask you people, with regards to straying and relationships, is it boring? What's happening? Kids help. the situation, maybe, maybe not. It depends on what happens. You have to work out what you want to do in life. But at the same time, as I said to you, two sides to the story, but also if someone strays, is it because they're not appreciated at home and they've lost themselves? Just think about that. And we say about men, but it's women as well. All right, I'm talking about both because everyone goes on about the men thing and the women thing. That is fine. Let's go a humanitarian. We know men are getting blasted these days. That's why I'm pushing that narrative at the moment, because you see all the things about negative men. Well, if you won't want it, but how can you not be civil to a human being, regardless whether it's a man or woman? Think about it. But also remember to respect yourself and have a look at the roles that people are doing. There's some fantastic people doing some roles in their life, and credit to all of them. They're doing the best they can with what they've got, especially in this crazy day and age. Make sure you respect yourself and respect others. And if people are straying in relationships, maybe you have to look at yourself as well. Don't just throw all the blame on the one person, because they might be losing themselves and they're trying to find themselves. And then you might have to say to yourself, what have I done to cause this? And they have to think about, I should have spoke up, or I should have just left, one or the other. And that's the way it is. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go over to, I'm thinking, let's make a guess. We could either fly to Fremantle or we could fly to Canada. Let's see what message I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for being involved on episode 26 of the Robin Hood Effect. I'll see you after this. G'day guys, it's Jay here from Journey with Whitefeather. Just for a quick little tip for you today. Make sure you love what you do, and make sure you show people how much you love it. Talk about it. Embed it in your life. You can just tell the passion and the energy that comes off when you're actually doing something. My one is to help people, obviously. And the things I do, teach PE, teach sport, I do music, get on stage, okay? We also talk about retro car games, whatever I do, professional wrestling, talking about spirituality and becoming a better person. I know myself that I talk about it and people can feel the energy coming off and they're inspired by my words. That's what I want to do, and that's what I want you to do for the rest of your life, to basically get that inspiration, become a mega hype man like I am, and live your best life. And always, I want to say, for my hero Bret Hart, be the best there is, best there was, and best there ever will be. Thank you so much. Big shout out to my friend Jackie Lyons in Canada for the 11 of the Spiritual Podcast. Love ya. Take care. See you next video. Ladies and gentlemen, just to finish off with the consciousness change that's going on, people are feeling a lot different and feeling like they are less motivated. It's chaos. It's absolute chaos. And especially depending on your journey, what you're finding. People are looking for some places and some things to get out of. They're looking at different things, like, whether they go down the addiction path because they're just not happy, or they go searching for information. It's the consciousness of the world that is increasing. And it's such a time where people are just looking to be happy and safe. So I moved on from what I was doing and I changed my whole outlook into what I'm actually all about. I'm far from perfect. Don't worry about that. I'm still finding myself, but I have to be honest with myself with regards to where I'm going and what I've done and what is coming. Accountability, awareness, voice, choice, and freedom, the Robin Hood effect. Okay? There's so much there that I've lived by, and I'm still struggling with it myself. It's understanding a lot of the subconscious that has come through, a lot of the boundaries that I wasn't taught, understanding why. You blame, yes. You can't blame for what they did. They did the best they can. This is talking about parents, eh? But it's still being accountable because you weren't given the skills to move on. Am I not right? Okay, and you have to go and find it. So you're 10K back. But that takes a lot of strength to actually do that. The other thing is, I want to let you know, ladies and gentlemen, people aren't looking to be sorry and looking for someone to say sorry and pat them on the head. Their inner child going, it's okay. I believe in one thing, and it's taken a long time because, people do get hurt and have a lot of inner rage or a little bit of hurt. The hardest thing you'll get over, the hurdle, is forgiveness and letting go. I'm not asking for a sorry. Just saying, that's the way it was. Now I can move on. I will use this as a lesson, which I'm trying to. I mean, I think the big thing is, ladies and gentlemen, and you'll get judged for this. You'll get judged for changing your mood swings and all those kinds of things, which I have. You are processing what you need to process. And I think that someone who sits down and listens, it's a key thing. I never listened as much as I am now. Someone actually listens, they're the greatest person ever, because they're trying to help you, and they will try to take what you need to take from others and be grateful for their help. But you have to go into silence and make sure it blends in with what's happening in your life as well. So if it goes down the spirituality path, if it goes down, changing jobs, like myself, I've moved on to writing and doing a lot of content with regards to my story with Journey of a Whitefeather. That's taught me so much that I want to share that. And I want to share and be proud of my passions. As you can see, writing a book, best-selling book, Journey of a Whitefeather. Okay, I love pop culture. I dress up as Batman and Robin. It's all those things that are really exciting to me now. And that's what I want to live by. But the big thing is, I think, ladies and gentlemen, when you change, your energy and vibration goes, especially the consciousness now that you're walking into your own self. Other people aren't going to, because they're going through their own stuff. And they probably don't even realize it because they're not as connected. And that's their choice, or that they don't understand, which is fine. And I think personally, for myself and with what I've gone through in the last 5-6 years, and having I've had a great support network, not locally as much. Everyone's done things for me, which has been fantastic, but I've been out as well doing what I need to do and learning. But my spiritual family has been nothing but superb. It's a small group, and Ric Flair, wrestler, the Four Horsemen from NWA, they were a tight-knit group, and Ric Flair went on a podcast, I think, a couple of months ago. I wasn't sure exactly which one, but I know he said it back in the 90s, I think, when he went to WWF at the time. And he said, you only have a handful of close friends. Now, I use the pyramid. I have close family friends, not family, friends. And when you've traveled, like I was a pro wrestler and I traveled, we'll never, ever not be as close as what we are. We are family. So when you go on tours and stuff like that, also the music scene's not in the same boat. There's a fair few people that, everyone's a friend, and then you got your close confidants. It's a case of understanding where you are, understanding your energy, understanding what's working, what's not, and you have to be true to yourself. So for me, I might not have to go to an after party now. I just want to go home and chill. That's the kind of stuff that happens. You go, I'll go there for the heck of it. Now I don't, if I don't want to. So what I want you to do, ladies and gentlemen, is again, we just try and understand exactly where you are. And that's through journaling. That's through chats like this. If you want to have a chat with myself, you can jump on, leave a question. We're quite happy to get you on board on a chat with Jay also. And we get a lot of people on there who have been helped by actually talking on a podcast about themselves, which is amazing, giving that opportunity to just normal everyday people. I want you to take the challenge as we leave today to be yourself and really just look into why you do certain things and what happens and where you are exactly at. It is chaos. It'll be chaos in your head. It'll be like a Texas tornado. But there'll be glimmers of light that will come through to say, hang on a minute, the answers will come. And if you allow that and go through that Texas tornado, which I have, those answers are coming. You'll go, Some of them might feel at the time, but then they'll come around again as you grow and ascend. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Jay for the Robin Hood Effect. A chat with Jay, opinions and views. Really excited about doing this now, getting myself involved in helping everyone out there. If you want to like, subscribe, and share to the channel, it'd be fantastic. If you want to be on our show, we look forward to grabbing you and talking about your gifts, lessons, and messages you want to give to the world. You can like, subscribe, and share, as I said, but also on our link tree, there's guest forms. There's some free downloads. You can get some affirmation cards, Aussie affirmation cards. They're quite funny, but they give you make you think, and they give you an idea of what's happening. We've also got our books available on Amazon, Booktopia, and all good bookshops, online bookshops, and also obviously Journey of a Whitefeather. The podcast is on YouTube, Spotify, and 18 different platforms. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I'm going to say best there is, best there was, best ever will be by Bret Hart, but I have my own quote now. It's only a couple of weeks since I've done this, but all I'll say is hype, motivation, unstoppable energy gives you undisputed purpose. It's time to remove your mask and write your story. This has been Jay for the Robin Hood Effect, a chat with Jay. Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you on the next episode.
I want to do a big shout out to our friends and supporters at Liberty Bullion. Sammy and the team are the best gold, silver, and platinum traders in Australia. Make good choices, give them a call. Back to the show.
Thank you for clicking on the website, Journey of a Whitefeather. My name's Jay, and I've got one question for you. I want you to answer this question when you're looking in the mirror. Are you living your best life? Are you truly happy within your own self? I had to do that too, and I found out I wasn't. And I got some help, and I started to look within myself to make my life better, to have a safe, authentic, trusted space to remove my mask and write my story. Ask yourself that question. If you want some answers, click on the website. I'm very, very happy to share my gifts and my journey. People that feel hurt, people that feel betrayed are the greatest people. Hurt people can heal people. Think about that.